bad things just kept happening. They just kept happening. Hello, good people, and welcome to my platform where we look at what it means to live and pursue an abundant life. So if you're new to my platform and you haven't seen any of my videos, the last video I had shared, I mentioned that 2 weeks ago I hosted a workshop, right? And that I was going to be talking about it, right? Talking about why the workshop and what I'm hoping we can achieve with the workshop. So if you see my content, you know that I'm very big on inclusivity. I'm very big on community, because I believe that an abundant life is not a life of isolation, but really it's a life of oneness, a life of togetherness, of serving, loving, and helping other people. So being more than just about yourself. So that is one of the things that I'm hoping we can achieve with the workshop, right? Because I did mention at the workshop that last year, as I was seeking and praying and hoping that God would meet me, he kind of revealed a lot of things about me and a lot of things to me. And I think these are some of the things that I had shared in the workshop. So just to backtrack a little bit, I have previously mentioned that in 2018 and 2019, I was really going through mental difficulties. So in the past couple of years, from 2018, obviously, I have been struggling a lot with anxiety and also experiencing a little bit of depression as a side effect of the anxiety. So I assume out of human nature, we always try to find remedies, right? Things that will help us. And I think I went out there and I looked for things that would help me, that will heal me and make me whole and make me complete. And honestly, I couldn't find anything. I mean, if there was one thing that will make me cling to the Lord for the rest of my life, is that I had gone out looking for healing and looking for peace and comfort and joy, and I couldn't find it anywhere else until I came to him. I did things that couldn't fulfill me, right? But until I came to him, I was like, man, this is it. Like, God is top tier, guys. He is God. I can't even, he's top tier, okay? So anyways, that happened during that period. And during COVID, I started praying a little bit more. I started seeking God a little bit more, but I was also doing it out of, it was not really connection. It was a ritual out of habit, or out of, I gotta pray because I gotta pray. But it was not out of reverence or getting to know God or getting to pursue a deeper relationship with God, right? And then last year, bad things just kept happening. They just kept happening. Like, I got into a car accident in February. My master's submission got postponed. The guy I was seeing at that time, he's like, girl, I'm out, So there's like a lot of things that were going wrong. And I think when too many negative things happen at once, you begin to wonder, like, what's happening? Like, something's happening. Like, something is going on here that is not cool. So I think when I got to that point, right, I started praying and seeking God. I went on a Daniel fast for 21 days, where I was just praying and seeking the presence of the Lord. I suggest you do that as a child of God. Like, get in the habit of silencing the body so that the spirit can connect with the Father, so you can hear God more clearly. So as I was fasting, one of the things that which God spoke to me about was identity, because I had, out of pain, out of suffering, out of survival mode, I found that I was so far removed from who God created me to be, or who God called me to be, right? I believe that God created us. I mean, he says he knows us in Jeremiah, and if he knows us, it's a privilege to have him tell you who he created you to be, right? And that was one of the things that which he had spoken to me about, that I was so far removed from who I'm supposed to be, simply because I was thriving in survival mode. And I started reading up on, being a lady, being a woman, being female. And I read up on femininity and why it's so important that as a woman you walk in your femininity. I think we live in a world where a lot of women, or some women, are more masculine than they are feminine, and you begin to see this imbalance in their lives. And it was something that which I was also experiencing with me, like that excessive aggression, that excessive, like, I need to do this, I need to force this, I need to control this and manipulate this, and just have it be the way I want it to be. And that was kind of compromising the quality of my relationships as well, compromising my peace, and just my surrender to God's will, my surrender to God's plan. And so for me, the reason I decided to host the workshop, one was because I felt that if I was struggling with something like that, then there should be at least one more person who's trying to figure out their identity, right? And trying to pursue their identity and live in identity. So that was one of the things, or one of the reasons why I thought, man, the workshop would be such a great idea. And another reason was because I wanted to learn. I believe in community we can learn from other people. So I wanted to learn, and I believe that, when you are with other people, there's so much revelation that other people have. There is so much knowledge that other people have that they can share. And I'm not gonna lie, I learned a lot. Like, there were so many wise points there. Like, the room was just full of ladies who were wise, and what they were saying was like mind blowing, and answered a lot of the questions that I had asked myself about a lot of things, right, that I was struggling to get to an answer. One of the things that I said, and I think is so true in the workshop, is that sometimes God gives you revelation not for you but for someone else, so that when you share it with that person, it begins to heal whatever it is that's going on with them. It begins to confirm or to answer whatever it is that is going on with them. So I think that is one of the things that which I enjoyed about the workshop, that someone had someone else's answer, and as we were talking, people felt like, man, that answered my prayer, that answered my question, that answered one of the things that which I was asking myself about 1, 2, and 3. And I really did enjoy that. So the reason I did decide to have a workshop, one was because I wanted to learn, and I wanted to connect people, because I felt like, man, if I have the same issue, then there should be someone who has the same issue, and there should be people who can guide us and help us and get to that point. And like I said, those objectives were truly met. Now, I'm hoping in the future that we can actually have more of those workshops, because I think identity is something that is so important. And I think we live in a world that struggles so much with identity, especially now with, a lot of different issues, not just with sexuality, or not just with, trying to understand, am I supposed to be this, or am I supposed to be that, or am I supposed to do this or do that? But I think our community is currently, or the world is currently, in a place where identity is a big thing. And I truly believe that if we intend to live an abundant life, a life that is led by God, then it's important that we begin to figure out who He says we are, to get our identity from Him. And that is my objective with the workshop going forward. Not just us figuring out what it means to be feminine, but also figuring out identity and understanding how do we get to then live in identity and pursue identity and act from a place of identity. Because I think when you fully understand who you are and who you are created to be, you also get to then understand how you operate and move. So it was really incredible for me to get to, one, see a vision come true, and two, also then build this community, or connect people and talk about the value of being a woman. When I went to a church service on Women's Day, one of the ladies that was speaking there said something so powerful. She said that there are certain things that only women can do, and until women get to that revelation that this is a post I need to fill and only I can do this, we'll often have a shortage, a lack in our community, in our society. And I think as women, if we come to this realization that from my feminine place, I can accomplish so much more, that I don't have to go out of character to be who God created me to be, to do the things that which God created me to do. and actually like hope in the future that you could attend, and hope in the future that it could be something that really goes beyond just me in order to help people in whichever way that they need to help. So yeah, that was the workshop, and that is what I wanted to share, that it was rooted mainly in identity, in pursuing identity and figuring out how do we act from a place of identity. So yeah, make sure that you watch the videos on Instagram. I did share a couple of videos just so that you guys can get a feel of what it was about. But that's my video for today. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, to like the video, and to leave a comment in the comment section. Thank you. Bye.